Hi, my name is Chris Jackson. I've been a practicing business attorney for over 25 years, and one of the common questions I get from my clients is, should I set up a Member Managed LLC or a Manager Managed LLC? So this video, I'm going to cover first, what is a Member Managed LLC? What is a Manager Managed LLC? Second, at what point should you make the decision whether to be Member Managed or Manager Managed, and can you change your mind later? Third, what are the pros and cons of Member Managed versus Manager Managed? And lastly, what do I recommend? Okay, so number one, what is a Member Managed Limited Liability Company versus a Manager Managed Limited Liability Company? And the answer is a Member Managed LLC is managed by the members, the owners of the LLC. Each one of those members or owners is taking part in the day-to-day activities and decision-making of the limited liability company. They have to work together for a common goal, hopefully have a common vision, hopefully you get along well, but essentially that's what you are. You are an entity that is managed by the owners, the members. What is a Manager Managed LLC? A Manager Managed Limited Liability Company is a company that is managed, of course, as the name suggests, by managers. Those managers can be a member or members. They can be an outside third party. You can choose one manager. You can have multiple managers. Most LLCs are managed by either one manager or two. Next question. When do you have to make the decision whether to be manager managed versus member managed? The answer is it's best to make the decision before you form your LLC. The reason is that in certain states like California, for example, you have to indicate right on your Articles of Organization, which is the formation document in California, whether you are member managed, manager managed by one manager, or manager managed by more than one manager. If you want to change that later, you're going to have to go back and amend the Articles of Organization, which requires certain approvals. So just keep that in mind. You can change your mind, but it's best if you can to make the decision early on. That way you don't have to amend anything in the future. In other states like Wyoming does not require you to indicate what your management style is for your LLC. So in those cases, you're going to want to determine that in the operating agreement. I had a video about the operating agreement, what should be included in the operating agreement to protect you and your personal assets and to make sure the LLC gets up and running properly. Feel free to watch that other video if you haven't already. But one of the items that I covered is manager managed versus member managed. You have to address that in the operating agreement, whether you've already addressed it in your Articles of Organization or not. Okay, number three, what are the advantages and disadvantages of each type of entity? What are the advantages of a member managed LLC? There really, in my opinion, is only one advantage, and that is it is a type of entity that is suitable for a group of members where each one of the members or owners of this LLC want to participate in the day-to-day operations. They want to be involved in the decision-making process. They do not want to be passive investors. If that's the case, if that's who you are, if that's who your potential partners are, then a member-managed LLC is the right option for you. And let's just use as an example mobile dog grooming. I've used that in prior videos. And let's say that certain members have certain talents. One is a great groomer, the other's good at marketing, the other's good at finance, etc. But the idea is that each member is going to be involved in the day-to-day operations, and each member is going to be helping to make certain decisions. Okay, so what is the disadvantage of a member-managed LLC? The main disadvantage is that each of the members have to be involved in the day-to-day operations and the decision-making, and it means that sometimes maybe you're going to have to make decisions and you can't get people to agree on the decision. It may slow down the momentum of the growth of your business. Another disadvantage of a member managed LLC is that if you need additional investors in the future, it's going to be difficult in many cases to attract additional investment because most investors that want to invest in companies really don't want to be involved in the day-to-day operations. They want to be passive investors, silent partners, so to speak. They don't want to invest in a member-managed LLC where they actually have to get involved in the decision-making process. For example, they don't want to get a phone call where you're going to have a meeting to determine, say, what type of mobile dog grooming van you're going to acquire. Should it be this nice modern looking van, or do you want to get a vehicle similar to the one that was used in Dumb and Dumber, where you got the floppy ears with the puppy? Actually, even as a passive investor, I probably would want to make that decision. But other decisions like what blow dryers are you going to use, what are the best brushes, these kind of things, I really don't want to be involved in the decision-making process as a passive investor. So there will be a limitation on what type of investment you can attract in a member managed LLC. Okay, what are the advantages of a manager managed LLC? Number one, it's easier to attract outside investors because, as I just said, most outside investors want to be silent partners. They're happy to invest and not be involved in the day-to-day operations of the company. Number two, a manager or managers, once appointed, they are going to have a scope of authority within which they can do certain things on behalf of the LLC. It will allow the LLC to run more efficiently, such that every time a decision is being made that is, say, not substantial in terms of scope or dollar figure, then the managers can make those decisions and keep the LLC's momentum going and help the business grow, rather than going out to seek every one of the members' approvals for every decision that they make. Number three, privacy. In most states, if you're a member managed limited liability company, you're going to have to disclose who are the members. If you are a manager managed limited liability company, you don't have to disclose who the members are. You don't have to disclose who the owners of the LLC are, and you may want that for privacy purposes. Otherwise, that information is available online to anyone who wants to see who owns such and such LLC. Also, the reason you'd want to be a manager managed LLC is because not all the members are experts in your business. Say you're the founder of the limited liability company and you bring in additional members. Do you want to consult them every time you make a decision? If the answer is no, if you know your business better than they do, and really they shouldn't be involved in the decision-making process, they should remain passive, silent partners, then you want a manager managed LLC. In addition to that, let's say you want to transfer some or all of your membership interest to your children for estate planning purposes, but you don't want them involved in the decision-making process. Maybe they're too young, or maybe you don't want to have them tell you how to run your own business. Okay, and one other advantage of a manager managed LLC is that you have a title as manager. It's convenient when it comes to, say, opening up a bank account, and the bank understands that you can make decisions on behalf of the LLC rather than every single member being called in to sign every document that the bank needs to simply open a bank account. Or let's say you want to enter into a contract and you have to get every member's signature on that contract. If you have the title manager and you can demonstrate you are a manager managed LLC, you can enter into transactions easier as the manager rather than as one of many members. I guess one disadvantage of a manager managed LLC is that maybe your manager or managers, they don't perform well, right? And they're making certain decisions within their scope of authority and they're not making the right decisions. Well, you should make sure that you have in your operating agreement the ability to remove them as managers through non-performance, or maybe for any reason whatsoever, the majority of members can replace the manager or managers at any time. I would recommend that, unless you are the founder and you want to lock yourself in there. One other item I want to address in this video, I've seen a lot of advice about what to do if you're a single member LLC. And while it is true that it doesn't really matter if you're manager managed or member managed in a single member LLC, because you are the person making all the decisions, whether you call yourself manager or you're a member, if it doesn't matter at that time, but it may matter in the future, if you bring on additional members, I would recommend just take care of becoming a manager managed LLC from the outset. That way you don't have to go back and amend your articles of organization or amend your operating agreement. Okay, so really that's it. That's why I recommend for most people a manager managed limited liability company. If you found this information valuable, I encourage you by all means, please like the video, press the thumbs up button. And if you want more information like this, I kindly request that you subscribe to my channel. And I wish you and your LLC all the best. If you have any questions about any of the content that I just went over, put them down below in the comments section. I will try to answer every single question.